On September 14th, 2025, Mariah Samuels was taken from her family, her loved ones, and her community in a terrible act of domestic violence. Today, a Hennepin County jury convicted David Wright of first-degree premeditated murder and first-degree murder past pattern of domestic violence. He will be sentenced to life without parole this Friday, April 17th at 10 a.m., after Ms. Samuels' family has the opportunity to tell the judge how Mariah's loss has impacted them. This conviction holds David Wright legally accountable for the murder of Mariah Samuels, but we shouldn't even be here today. Mariah should be alive, doing what she loved to do, spending time with her family, taking care of the animals she loved so dearly. Mariah was a proud, loving mother to 2 sons. She was a daughter, a sister, a cousin, and a friend who enjoyed trips to the family cabin. Her family described Mariah as a gentle spirit who carried adulthood with grace but never let go of the childlike joys of life. She did everything we ask people who experience domestic violence to do, including calling the police for help shortly before she was killed. The officer who responded to Mariah's call wrote in his report that Mariah told him she felt safe. But the video from the officer's body cam reveals that she never said that. The look of resignation on Mariah's face when the officer said he was leaving is something I will never forget. That is something that was captured on body cam. Mariah was afraid and said repeatedly that David Wright would kill her. And she took action and sought help and protection from our system, but it failed her. We and other leaders must hold ourselves and our offices accountable for continuously improving our policies and practices in responding to domestic violence. I am grateful to our prosecution team, Stu Shapiro, Jenna Dominic, and our victim services staff, Sanita King, Faria Mohammed, and Jess Immerman, for their work throughout this case. There were many, many others on our staff that helped put this prosecution together. I also want to thank the jury for their time. This was a very long trial, and their effort in reaching a verdict. Ultimately, Mariah is not here, and there is nothing that we can do to bring her back. We must, however, make every effort to prevent this from ever happening again. To those who are experiencing domestic violence, we are here to help. Our Domestic Abuse Service Center, or DASC, team is here to help create a safety plan that meets your needs. Our staff at the Domestic Abuse Service Center works with individuals seeking assistance every day. And if DASC isn't the right place for you, there are incredible organizations in our community that can help you. Safety planning can include an order for protection, but OFPs aren't right for everyone. Extreme risk protection orders and relocation support may also be part of a safety plan. But truly, it is about meeting you where you are at to create a plan that meets your specific circumstances to keep you safe. DASC empowers and assists victims in creating detailed safety plans tailored to their specific circumstances with the goal of keeping both victims and their families safe. And we are committed to improving our own work and processes to better assist individuals experiencing violence. I know a member or members of the family would like to speak.
Sure. Go ahead, Linda. Identify yourself.
Good afternoon. My name is Selena Owens. I am the sister of Mariah Samuels. And I would like to say that through our faith, our determination, and our ambition, we are happy with the results that justice was served today. While it will not bring back my sister, we will always honor her and keep her spirit alive. And we would like to thank the prosecution team, the jury, and the judge for putting in restless hours and a great amount of time for their work to ensure that my sister got justice. I can't explain the pain that we feel especially my father. And while this was meant to break us, it showed our strength and resilience and our faith that with prayer and with unity, all things have worked out for our good, because we will ensure that her life was not taken in vain, and we'll do our best to ensure that we try to put out new policies and laws to help victims of domestic violence in Minneapolis and all around the world.
Questions?
For Brian's family, I can't imagine how hard it would be to sit through a trial like this. I'm wondering if you felt it was worth it to do that in order to ensure that he's guilty of the most serious count and he'll be life in prison without parole, if he wasn't willing to, admit to that beforehand. What was the pain worth it to get this result that you had today?
Absolutely. Without a doubt, our family needed to be there to show how impactful this really was. I feel like a lot of this stuff, sorry. Without a doubt, it was important for my family to be there. Victims, I feel like, go unnoticed, unheard so many times because they lack the family to come, show up in court, stand there with the prosecutors, advocating for themselves and for the family is a big part of really getting these people sentenced in a correct way so they're not getting let off early. Like, the judge needs to know the impact, and us showing up in the mass numbers that we did every single day for like the past 4 weeks, I'm sure showed the jury, showed the judge that this was not some small thing for us. This was life altering, and my family is never going to be the same. My dad has lost probably one of the most important things to him, which is his baby. So, for my family, this is going to go on. But for you guys, this is the end of it. But it's important for us to be there.
If you don't mind a follow-up question, I'm just wondering what it was like to hear him on the stand yesterday admit what he did.
Among just in disbelief that someone could get up on the stand, say that they shot through the window, went around the other side, shot her while she was still screaming, and let her fall to the ground. I was baffled that he could be so smug the entire trial. So knowing that he was convicted guilty on every charge, he got exactly what he deserved. And I'm hoping the judge's sentence will be heavy and long. And I truly do not hope he just should never see the light of day again. He's a dangerous person.
Can you say your name?
My name is Simone Hunter. I'm Mariah's little sister, Selena's little sister, or Mimi.
Could you spell your first name?
Simone. Thanks, guys.
I wanted to say, too, our staff had that discussion with the family before the trial started. We're always looking for input from the family. They were very resolute in wanting a trial here and knowing that what they were going to have to sit through. And even knowing it, though, I'm sure didn't make it any easier at all. And we will, because I wanted to say, we can't forget Mariah Samuels. We just can't forget her. And as I said, those of us in these positions have to continue to evolve and figure out how to interact and help keep victims of domestic violence safe, and just constantly improve when we see areas that need improvement. Any other questions?
How do you hope that the Minneapolis Police Department deals with how their officers behaved, and are there changes being discussed?
So the question was, how do I hope that the Minneapolis Police Department reacts to this, and are there changes being made? I hope, and I think this is really where it's important that those of us in leadership positions reflect and are unafraid to look at where things went wrong, because things clearly went wrong here with the Minneapolis Police Department. And we heard promises about what was going to change. I certainly hope that's the case. But I became aware this morning, actually, of a data request that somebody made that's now on social media, asking the Minneapolis Police Department for their times in reacting to 911 calls in January. And I was astonished by the results of that. There were calls, these are 911 calls, an active domestic violence assault in progress, where people had to wait 43 minutes, 88 minutes. That is unacceptable. I cannot imagine being in a position where I am calling law enforcement for help when I'm being actively assaulted, where it takes that long to respond. So, you know, I'm a big believer in that we put our resources in the places where we value them, right? And we need to start valuing domestic violence. We need to start taking seriously lethality factors and the other things that we all know are evidence-based and research-based. We need to take seriously when somebody says, I am afraid. I am afraid he is here, he knows I'm here, and we can't just turn around and drive away, leaving her to be murdered a short time later. We just can't continue to do that. And so my hope is that everybody that plays a role here sees this as a wake-up call and makes changes that are necessary to try to protect people who are in this situation. Thank you.